The tourism industry is a thriving part of Africa's economy. When you think of tourism in Africa, you may consider the beautiful beaches of Morocco or Seychelles. There's also the ancient history of Egypt and the wildlife of South Africa and Kenya. Where does Nigeria fit in? And could its most cosmopolitan city, Lagos, emerge as the true capital of tourism in Africa? I am Didi Akinyelure, and this is Destination Lagos. Lagos is the economic powerhouse of Nigeria, a country that recently emerged as Africa's largest economy. Over the years, Nigeria has relied heavily on oil for its revenue. With the global drop in oil prices, the country is looking to diversify its sources of revenue, and tourism could be an alternative income earner for the nation. Presently, tourism in Nigeria centers on Lagos State. The coastal city is known for its beach resorts, art scene, historical sites, shopping and nightlife.
Lagos is the city of excellence. I will tell you, Lagos have everything that Nigeria wants: the best food, the best film place, the best market. Then the handwork, the creativity. Lagos have everything.
The music of Lagos, the film of Lagos, the cuisine of Lagos, the fashion of Lagos, all these things are the ingredients of a cultural industry that lend the credence to a vibrant tourism industry.
With 22 million people living in the city and millions of commuters from neighboring states and countries passing through, the Lagos State government has identified tourism as a potential major revenue earner.
The density, the volume, lends good credence to the potential for tourism. If Lagos consumes more of Lagos, to start off with community tourism, taking it to the communities of Ikorodu, Ekpe, Badagri, Takwa Bay, Bar Beach, like we are here, the potential is huge.
Lagos State is home to expansive beaches, world-class restaurants, nightclubs and bars, arts and cultural activities, and historical locations, one of which is Badagri, a coastal town and a key port in the export of slaves in the slave trade era.
We lost millions of humanity in some of the most brutal ways. And our people, they still are people no matter where they are. The word diaspora is used generally. Now, where do we expect should be the first port of call for the children, the offspring of slaves who were taken away? Where is their pilgrim point? This is their pilgrimage, West African coast. They want to see the fort. They want to see the various points of no return along the coast, Ouida, Badagri, etc., etc. This is for them home. So that is their motivation for tourism.
The first story building in Nigeria, a popular tourist destination in Badagri. And we have here with us son of the Badagri soil, Eko Atlantic. So tell us a little bit about this building, the history of the building.
Well, nice, Didi. This building was commenced in 1842 and completed in 1845. So it took them about 3 years to finish it. And here used to have a lot of things that we can see. On this very ground is where primary education started here. Then inside we have the Bible, the first Bible that was translated by Samuel Ajayi Crowther from English to Yoruba. All the sides you have the horse, where you kept the horses. You also had the school, and of course the schoolmaster's house quarters were all there. There was a church as well? Yeah, there was a church. There was a church somewhere around here.
While the government has made strides in conserving historical landmarks, investment opportunities exist in the development of the untapped lagoon fronts and beaches of Badagri.
Well, we're planning to build an eco community, which has 3 elements. The first element is the actual resort itself, which is floating villas built with timber and thatch on the island behind us, which will consist of about 50 floating villas on the water. We've tried very much to be in harmony with the environment. So we're not going to do any landfill. We're going to build them on stilts, just like you have in Asia or in Mauritius and such places. We've done all the design work for that, and we're ready to construct. Badagri itself, if you look at it, lends itself to tourism a lot, just sheer beauty. I mean, I've not seen anywhere else as beautiful as this. And when people come here from abroad, foreigners, when they come here, it's always the best place they've been. Just the environment. There's nothing here at the moment except this one villa. But when you look around you, the creek, the trees, the whole environment, it's of such beauty. And we need to tap into that. And that's why we decided to set up a resort.
We're here at the point of no return in Badagri, and we're here with Eko Atlantic, of course, and Eko is going to tell us about the history of this place.
Oh, first and foremost, I'll say a big thank you to the students of Glory Land Secondary School, Aguda, Surulere, Lagos. They're here on excursion. So right here is the Badagri slave route. Like you can see, this is the route of the journey to the unknown destination, because the slaves never knew where they were going. They actually bring the slaves down and stop them at the riverbank there. Then they're brought down to this place, and of course they transit from here. The unknown destination, they do not know where they're going, but they have officially become slaves. Once they get to this point, no coming back for them again. The route of the journey to the unknown.
Ekpe, if you've ever been to Ekpe and you cross over the bridge that takes you onto the mainland of Ekpe, and you look at the lagoon there, and you look at the hills that roll up from the lagoon, you will see, if you've ever been to kind of similarity in the topography, there's potential to build tourism resorts on pretty much virgin land. So please come to Lagos and take a look. You won't be disappointed, and you will find something to invest in.
A new privately funded coastal city is being built on land reclaimed from the Atlantic Ocean.
Eko Atlantic, it came out of a real need to protect Victoria Island. Over the past 110 years, we've had serious erosion which threatened the existing Victoria Island, the commercial centre of Lagos, back in 2005. So what we are doing, we're reclaiming all the land that was lost, and we are building a very robust seawall in front of that, and the total footprint of the new city will be 10 square kilometers.
Eko Atlantic Marina is expected to become a regional tourism and entertainment attraction, with al fresco bars, world-class restaurants and enticing boutiques.
There's plenty of scope for tourism in the marina, but immediately around the marina there will be a very wide, very generous pedestrian walkway and access to retail outlets, bars, restaurants. So the marina, particularly in the evenings, will become a very, very lively place and attract a lot of tourists.
Over the last couple of years, Lagosians have witnessed a major influx of shopping malls in the city. The retail sector is on the rise, and Eko Atlantic will house West Africa's largest shopping mall, sure to be a major tourist attraction.
That shopping mall is 120,000 square meters of lettable area. And within that, we're going to attract a lot of international brands for anchor zones within the shopping mall. And those discussions are at a very advanced stage, and we expect construction of the shopping mall to start next year.
To achieve its full tourism potential, Lagos State requires investment in the hospitality sector. In spite of the macroeconomic challenges, investors remain confident about the hospitality industry in Africa. And according to research, Nigeria is the country with the most rooms in the pipeline. Local and international hospitality brands are springing up across the city of Lagos, seeking significant returns.
We're just scratching the beginning of the industry. There are a lot of opportunities. What I will say is, if anybody is interested, this is the right time. First of all, the government is a pro-hospitality, pro-tourism government, and they are providing a lot of incentives and support. And if there's any time to continue to commence or to consider investing, this is the right time.
After the break, we will focus on Nigeria's music and film industry. Stay with us. Despite the slowdown in the economy, Nigeria's arts, entertainment and recreation sector is on the rise.
Who the hell do you think you are?
Everything these days in Nigeria is being done despite economic hardship. And culture is not a poor relation. It's not a poor relation. On the other hand, culture is a revenue-generating relation. And Lagos is in a very unique position to attract tourists to this place.
Nigeria's creative industry has the potential to boost the nation's economy. The film industry, Nollywood, is the country's second largest employer after agriculture. Nollywood produces over 50 movies every week, generating over $500 million annually, and the industry draws in the attention of tourists all over the world.
Without a doubt, Lagos is the hub for movies. You find everybody from around Nigeria and West Africa and Africa at large, and in fact the world, all come here to come and do things in Lagos. So Lagos is the hub. Without a doubt, Nollywood is situated in Lagos. This is where it started. So it contributes economically, provides jobs for filmmakers and artisans who are behind the scenes, and also helps to boost tourism. You want to find the stars, you find them in Lagos. Most of them, about 90% of the stars are all in Lagos. But what we're looking at now in future is to have a major center, like a hub, like what you have in Hollywood, where everybody congregates in one place and you're looking for like a one-stop shopping place where you find everything.
Today we'll comfortably say that Nollywood is not just a film-making industry for entertainment, but also for tourism, to showcase that which we have to the rest of the world. There are thousands of people all over the world, globally, who want to visit Lagos, to want to see what we have in Lagos. We have there Your Masquerade, we have beautiful places in Lagos to want to showcase to the rest of the world.
It's a sight and sound, because sometimes you see a movie that's shot in Lagos, you find all these tourist attractions. When people come in, they try to identify with it. For instance, I'll tell you the three men who welcome you when you're coming to Eko, the National Theatre. Now we have the Lekki Link Bridge. We have quite a lot of things. Then we have Badagri, Eko, Ikorodu. So we have quite a lot of things to attract people. And when you film this thing, whether you're shooting a Yoruba film or an English film, and they see these things, and once they're passing through, they get to identify with all those sites. So it's some sort of sight and sound bite for them. I remember when I went to California. I was going to San Francisco and I saw the San Francisco Bay. I attracted myself. Oh, I've seen this in the movie. So something applies when you come here. So it boosts tourism as well. So when people come, they identify with those sights and sound things in Lagos. So it works. It is a symbiotic relationship.
The entertainment scene in Lagos is fast expanding. The city uses music, film, and the performing arts to showcase the creativity of its citizens.
You can't take away the involvement and impact of entertainment and music industry. And when you mention music and entertainment in Africa, the first country that comes to your mind is Nigeria. And when you mention Nigeria, you know the city that comes to your mind is Lagos itself, because you have over 70–80% of the stakeholders in the industry, in the music industry in Nigeria, resident and based and practice, of course, in Lagos.
What is tourism if you do not have content? We know for a fact that Lagos is the birthplace, is the home of Nollywood. We know for a fact that Lagos is the home of hip-hop, or if you like, hip music in Nigeria, which of course is the biggest in Africa, if not in the entire black world. And therefore what the administration of Governor Akinwumi Ambode is trying to do is to create an enabling environment for activities to thrive.
Entertainment has always been a good tool to drive tourism, and His Excellency Governor Ambode has experimented with this at the end of last year when he decentralized One Lagos Fiesta, to see how entertainment could feed through consumption of what Lagos has to offer, especially with music. And I think he was quite successful with that.
For music superstar Jermaine Jackson of the acclaimed Jackson family, the music and entertainment scene in Lagos presents tremendous opportunities.
Yeah, the music is great. It's very rhythmic. There's a lot of rap, and I love some of the instrumentation because it's different from what we use.
Jermaine plans to invest in tourism in Lagos through the development of a world-class music academy.
Yeah, it's called JAPA, Jackson Academy Performing Arts, and it's where we can sort of give the opportunity to young talent here to sort of cultivate their talent and to give them a chance to be ready for the global world.
The arts and culture scene in Lagos is one that captivates tourists from all over the world. A major player in the promotion of arts and culture is the Nike Art Gallery. Through her extensive art collection, founder Nike Davis Okundaye celebrates the creativity of African art.
I opened my first gallery in 1968 in Osogbo, which is my headquarters. And when I moved to Lagos, Lagos is the city of excellence. More and more people who cannot come to Osogbo, they visit this workshop and they visit the gallery. And it's now become a place where when you have guests, where to showcase this creativity and the handwork of Nigerian artists. And their voice is their work.
Nike's Gallery, the largest in West Africa, is a well-known tourist destination situated in Lagos.
If you go to TripAdvisor, the first place to see in Lagos is this. So this is the most popular gallery in Africa right now. If we don't receive visitors in a day, we must receive between 20 to 30. If we don't receive, some good day, we receive up to 150.
So today we are here at Nike Art Gallery, one of the most popular art galleries here in Africa. And I believe that here in Lagos, it is actually the largest. Thousands and thousands of tourists come from all over the world to take a look at the beautiful art that we have here in Lagos State. Now I'm going to show you my favorite pieces, so come with me. Now look at this. This I really like because I like the way they've put it together, so love that.
Equally popular is Terra Culture, a one-stop shop for the creative arts. Situated in Lagos, this center promotes the richness and diversity of Nigerian art and culture.
When we started 13 years ago, there were very few spaces that tourists could visit to look at our artworks, to listen to our music, our dance, our culture, essentially. So I think in a way, we were one of the few spaces that sort of like put all of this together under one roof. I'm sure you've seen it as well from TripAdvisor. We've gotten awards as a destination. So what you tend to see is a lot of times you come in here, 70% of the crowd are foreigners or visitors coming into Nigeria, even Nigerians that are visiting home. So I think we've added some color and some variety to the tourism space in Lagos.
In December last year, one of our flagship projects was the One Lagos Fiesta show, which we did in rebranding the old Lagos Countdown, which used to be for one day at one single venue in Victoria Island at the Bar Beach. But of course, we had 5 days in December, culminating in a grand fiesta on the 31st, leading up to the morning of January the 1st. In 5 different places, all the administrative centers that make up Lagos State, your Epe, your Ikorodu, your Badagri, your Lagos Island still using Victoria Island, and of course, Ikeja. We used Agege last year. We'll most probably use another venue this year. And what that showed to us was that there are talents all over. We discovered that in Epe, in Ikorodu, in Badagri, there were artists waiting to be discovered. People who, in all genres of music, in Fuji, in Juju, in rap, in Afrobeat, and in jazz.
One Lagos, get the sign. It's the master brand for Lagos, which simply is about the oneness of Lagos, the inclusiveness of the philosophy of this administration. It's about the oneness of Lagos. It's about the governor's mantra that nobody will be left behind. It's about the diversity of Lagos, the color of Lagos, and the uniqueness that that diversity throws up. That is the power of Lagos.
To create an enabling environment for private investment in tourism, the government must play its part.
If you're a foreign investor coming to invest in Lagos, a new office has been created, Lagos Global. Go there. Professor Demola Abbas is a global citizen. He works for the governor, and his focus is to make your life easy for you to arrive in Lagos and get from arriving in Lagos to doing whatever business you came to do. That is Lagos Global. Governor Ambode set out with these: tourism, hospitality, entertainment, sports, and excellence. And his focus is, we have to look at this alternative economy now. We have to invest in this alternative economy now because it takes a while for the trickle-down effects for it to spin off into jobs and into additional revenue, GDP, etc. So the potential has always been there. It's bringing the right amount of each one of these assets together to bear. It's like, you know, you've got all the ingredients to cook a wonderful soup. Until you put them all into the pot and set fire to it, that soup isn't going to be ready. And I think Governor Ambode has ignited the fire. The ingredients are in the pot. I think we're warming up to a thoroughly delightful tourism meal.
In the second half of our two-part series on tourism in Lagos, we will identify the challenges that stifle the growth of the sector and tap into the opportunities that exist for potential investors aiming to fill in the gaps. I am Didi Akienure. Thank you for watching and see you next time on Destination Lagos.